Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the morning debrief for Friday the 10th of September. Current time is just nearly 8 o'clock, and quite a lackluster evening of trading, but if anything, it certainly was a night of volatility. Had some reasonable data too. Certainly jobless claims was just a fraction better than expected, and we also saw a draw in crude inventories, but that failed to really spur on the market. Gold came under a little bit of pressure as well, so there's certainly a few things on at the moment that will affect things. Okay, let's just get into just a quick review. There we go. The Dow was up 28 at 10,415. The S&P was up 5.31, and the Nasdaq there was up 7.3. Over to Europe, the FTSE up 64, the CAC was up 44, and the DAX was up 57. Interesting to note there, obviously, with the Anglo-Irish concerns and the liquidation of that bank, the market's not taking it on as being relatively weak across the board. And as a result of that, I think we actually did see people go to US dollars, but certainly didn't give us concerns across the equity markets on the fragility of the euro. Like closer to home, the local futures, we closed up 22. 4,604 off its highs, which is about 4,635. Okay, let's have a look at just a general now and a little bit of a rub through on what's happened overnight. Looking at the dollar index, because that's the one we normally like to start with, in a bit of a range, but this type of chart pattern, in my mind, gives us a little bit of a clue that perhaps that US dollar can be a little bit better bid rather than offered. Things are just a little bit slow here at the moment signing up. But 82.67 is where the dollar index certainly settled. And as you can see, the chart here, a breach pullback, tried to fill in this gap here. But if anything there, that in my mind sets the tone for a move back to that top side. And I'm not quite sure as to why that would happen. We'll have to wait and see. But certainly in a range. But if you take that from the low, breach, pullback, then should see a follow through. Follow through either to decide we're going higher or a follow through to confirm the downward trend in the US dollar is still with us. Okay, having a look at that, then you look at the Aussie. Aussie did have a strong night last night. Obviously lots of news going around at the moment concerning what the Aussie's on about. 92.34. The international people obviously like the Gillard government. It's certainly come off from its highs a little bit, but all could be all part of a trend. The big picture there for that Aussie certainly has been quite strong, and probably anticipated anticipated probably to spend a little bit more time in the range, probably test 92.60 again. Okay, so that's, you can just see there, it's just come back a little bit. Okay, now that's the Aussie. Euro, just quickly, 126.98. And as you can see, very hard to actually pick a trend for it, and because it has been in that range for some time. And I think if anything, does make it very hard to actually work out where we're actually going for it. As you can see, they're quite volatile. Okay, looking through that, have a quick look at gold. Gold 12.44. Now, I don't like the fact that it's come off from these highs. That is a concern for me. And as you can see with that price action there, it certainly looks as if it's failed once again at that 12.65. Now, that does represent a double top. Now, you would expect it. You would have expected something like that to occur because it's just formidable resistance. But the fact that it's come off pretty hard probably, in my mind, opens the way for a move lower. And I think that, in my mind, that's certainly on the card. So I would be taking off my long gold positions and probably looking at standing aside or actually taking a cheeky short on. But let's see how that unfolds. Having a look at the local market now. The local market probably gets some comfort, 4,601. Just by looking at what's happening with equity markets around the world, the market is a little bit more positive on the outcomes. And I think if anything there, she should hold up quite nicely. It's just coming up now. Things are a little bit slow. 4,603. It's waiting. There we are. And as you can see there, nice strong move. Expectations, I guess, as long as we can start around that level, after it to trade higher and probably even test back up that 4,800 level. On the other markets we've been following, rough rice, we certainly know, and soybeans, we're still there. Soybeans are relatively steady. Rough rice is there. Sugar's been very strong as well. There's that movement in rough rice. Just have a quick look at it. And you can see that it does look certainly quite solid indeed. And as you know, for those that's following our tweets, we did take profits in our rough rice, so we're no longer holding them whatsoever. But let's see whether or not that trend will continue. Concerns, particularly out of the Philippines, are certainly hurting that, where the Philippines are concerned about supply due to the droughts we've seen, due to the floods we've seen, sorry, and that is a worry because they are the largest importer. We're seeing rice, particularly local rice there, up around about that five-month high, and certainly closing on those highs there. So 12 is not inconceivable. Okay, now in terms of economic calendars, not a lot out, and I guess the most important stuff we've got there is CPI data in Europe, particularly Germany, and in the States, in the UK, we've got PPI. That'll be important, but not a lot in the States. So if anything, not a lot to move it, so we'll expect the market to pretty much trade within a bit of a range there. In terms of the trades we've got on, look to lose some of your gold, and obviously if it takes out 1265, different story. So happy to be on that one. If you want to take a cheeky short, do that. Your stop obviously has to go in at 1265. The only other thing you can look at is soybeans, which we still like, and copper's also starting to look interesting, but I'll let you know on that. But that's about it from me. I hope you have a good day, and we'll certainly talk to you soon. Bye for now.